Hey guys, welcome to Ask Courtney, and today I'm going to answer the top 3 questions that I got this week. First question, what is a boundary and where do I start? So a boundary is simply an imaginary line between two people, and it really functions as a way for someone to know how you want to be treated. So you start at learning to say no. And the reason why that is the hardest boundary to set is because when we're children, we're told that no is something we just don't say. And that is why as adults, we have these underlying feelings of shame and embarrassment when saying no. If you can start there, then you can start anywhere with setting a boundary. It's important to note that with a set boundary should come a consequence and follow through. So if someone breaks that boundary, it is important that you do and you say what it is you promise to do, because your word is all that you have. And without that, people will learn how to manipulate you. Boundaries are essential for our self-care. And not only does it show us that we care about ourselves, but it also teaches other people how to put boundaries in place and put themselves first too. The second question that I got this week that was a pretty big one was, how do I start healing from trauma if I don't know what the trauma was? And that's a fantastic question. And the reality is you don't necessarily have to know every single detail in order to heal from it. You just need to know that there's some healing to do. And I always recommend inner child work. You can start there. I have a podcast on it, which was the childhood guided meditation one. And if you listen to that, it can help you start connecting with your inner child, doing the shadow work, and reparenting yourself through some of the most challenging circumstances that you've been through. The second part that you want to look into is finding a therapist who is trauma informed and that has experience with the trauma narrative. Also, I highly recommend having a great foundation of self-compassion. If you think about it, you're going to be going through some tough memories, which means you're going to have to be kind to yourself after sessions. You're going to have to give yourself the love and kindness that you need so that you can continue to heal in a healthy way. Self-compassion will be your best friend, and it takes into account being kind to yourself, knowing that you're not alone in this world, which is the interconnectedness aspect, and also being mindful of how you're feeling and where you're at so that you can effectively give yourself what you need in those moments of challenges. You're going to need to be able to soothe and comfort yourself because trauma work is messy, and it's a lot easier to clean up when you have a good foundation and a great support system in place. The last question that I got was, how do you know if you're a toxic person? Well, the simple answer to that is at one point in all of our lives, we've been toxic. Yes, I said that. So whether you haven't respected someone's boundary, you didn't give someone the space that they needed to heal, or you kept pushing your beliefs on someone because it was your own trauma and your own toxic behavior projecting itself, it is okay. It's just recognizing that you were accidentally toxic and that your intention wasn't to be. And it's important that once you realize that you have been, to acknowledge it within yourself, to take responsibility for your actions, and to come up with a plan so that you cannot be toxic towards others in the future. Being toxic at times doesn't mean that you're an intentionally toxic person. It just means that you have some boundaries and some trauma and things that you need to work on. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can get updated when we have new videos.